All right, everybody. The time has finally come. We are getting Rocksmith Plus on console. Before we get started, I would like everybody to type in F in the comments. Pay respects to our Xbox gamers. They didn't make the cut. Not sure what's going on there. There was no Series X or Xbox One version of Rocksmith Plus. No mention of it, so don't know what's going on. But Rocksmith PlayStation 4 and 5 version is launching today. Ubisoft was nice enough to give me a little bit of an early access to the PlayStation version, and I thought I would go through, test as many different audio connection methods for Rocksmith Plus on PS5, just to make sure that you guys can set up your Rocksmith Plus on PlayStation to get the least amount of audio latency possible. I cannot count how many times people have told me that they gave up playing Rocksmith on console because the audio input was delayed, blaming it on the real tone cable and just giving up playing. I'm not a tech expert, but I do know, and I can share with you, everybody, that the real tone cable and audio input is never the problem when it comes to console Rocksmith. It is always audio processing and leaving the console. Now, the problem usually comes from HDMI, and the sound processing that it does introduces a little bit of delay. So that the delay is not actually the sound going from your guitar to the console. The audio delay is the sound leaving the console through your TV. So this video, I'm going to go through a bunch of different ways that I was able to lower latency on PlayStation 5 to a point that it was very playable, and I think I got 4 methods for you here today. I also want you to take what I'm saying here today, though, with a grain of salt, because there are so many different TVs out there, receivers, headsets, all kinds of stuff. So you can use my video as a guide to find the best settings for you, but I'm confident that if you follow what I say here today, you can get your Rocksmith Plus on PlayStation 5 playing great. Now, of course, everybody, if you're playing Rocksmith Plus on PlayStation 5, you're going to need a subscription. Ubisoft actually set me up with a referral link that if you sign up using it, they'll give me a little bit of a commission. So if you want to help me out, there's going to be a link down there. I'll put it as the first link because it's like our first step in this whole process, subscribing. So helping me out that way, that would be great. Also, I'm going to recommend some adapters, headsets, dongles, etc. down in the comments, and those will be Amazon links. So if you use those links to buy stuff too, I'll get a little bit of a kickback, and that would really help me out as well. So another thing before we get started here, everybody, is that I was only able to test things on my PlayStation 5. I'm pretty sure that most of these things will work just the same on PS4, but if you find something works a different way on PS4, and you got something working for yourself, make sure to put it in the comments. And that goes for everybody. If you're getting a Rocksmith Plus working on your PlayStation, let us know what your setup is in the comments. I really want to do like a crowdsourced collection, I guess, of audio setup methods, because there's going to be a lot of different ways, way more than even I could think of here just for this video. So jumping into option 1 here, everybody, it's probably your most straightforward. You're going to have your PlayStation 5 HDMI cable to your television, and in my case, I had an HDMI ARC connection to my soundbar. Now, I started playing like this, and it was unplayable, okay? There was so much audio delay, it sounded like I had stepped on a delay pedal. Now, knowing what we know, though, about audio processing is that the connection from your PlayStation to your TV and then going from your TV to your soundbar, that's like 2 jumps, right? So the jump from the TV to the soundbar, it was actually what my problem was. And I didn't think about it, and I was immediately thinking it's unplayable. But then I started thinking, oh, the soundbar. So what I did was I disconnected the soundbar, and then we had the super straightforward option of PlayStation 5, HDMI into TV, and it was pretty good. I gotta say, I was very surprised. Back in the day, I tried playing Rocksmith on Xbox One, and I was using it like this, and I couldn't do it. That's when I made the jump to PC. So in this option 1, everybody, you're gonna have your PlayStation, HDMI to your TV. Now, there's a couple of settings, though, that I want you to check just to make sure that you're getting the cleanest audio signal from your PlayStation to your TV. So on your PlayStation menu here, you're going to go into settings, you're going to go down to sound. Now, these 3D audio settings here, there's 2 3D audio settings. I had one of those on for some reason, I don't know why, so make sure those are turned off. And then under audio output, you go down to the bottom. I had DTS on, which is like another Dolby audio processing thing. We have to turn that off because we want as little audio processing as possible in the signal. So put that to linear PCM, and that setting there, I noticed, did make another big difference. And then finally, even though our PlayStation is hooked up to a TV, the setting we can change here, you can set it to AV amplifier. And doing that will actually allow you to select the channels. So what we want is we want a 2-channel audio, ensure that the number of channels is set to 2. After changing those 2 settings on my TV, I was pleasantly surprised at how well the game was playing. Now, keep in mind, everybody, I'm using a PlayStation 5. I'm using HDMI 2.1. This worked great upstairs on my TV. I have an LG OLED, pretty expensive TV, using HDMI 2.1. So I brought it down here to test. I have a really cheap Hisense 4K from Walmart, and it was just as good. So I think if you use these audio settings just with HDMI to your TV, you should get a pretty playable experience on your PS5. Keep in mind, if you have an extra sound bar, you want to take that out of the equation. So PlayStation 5 into TV, and that's it. Option 2 is one that I thought might not work very well, just in my head logically. Now, option 2 is going to involve, we all know the PlayStation controller. At the bottom, there's a headphone jack. So option 2 involves plugging a headset into the controller, and that's how you get your Rocksmith audio to your ears. Option 2 is kind of cool because if you have ever played Rocksmith using a drop pedal, Rocksmith Plus actually has a built-in pitch shifter now. So wearing a headset will actually not allow you to hear your strings if you're playing in a different tuning, which is a problem sometimes if your guitar is E standard, you're using a drop pedal or a pitch shift, and you're hearing E flat in Rocksmith, it gets a little bit disjointing and confusing to play. But when you have those headphones on, kind of eliminates that disconnect. You can't hear your strings. So this method here, I felt it played just about as good as the HDMI. I couldn't really feel like there was any difference, but obviously mileage may vary on this. I think the controllers operate on 2.4 gigahertz, so I don't know, maybe if you have interference, and I don't know. Listen, I'm not a tech wizard, but speaking from my experience, this way was an okay way, but I think I would prefer using just the TV over this method. Also, just like the last setting, everybody, make sure to go into your audio output and make sure it is linear PCM. No DTS, no Dolby Atmos, none of that audio processing. Turn it all off, linear PCM. So now, getting to option 3. Now, option 3, when I heard PlayStation was getting Rocksmith Plus, this was going to be my ideal way to play. If you ever watched my other videos, I play Rocksmith 2014 on PC using a USB wireless headset. I use the Logitech Pro Wireless. I was really excited to say, yeah, the Logitech Pro Wireless is going to work with PlayStation with the USB dongle. USB dongle to PlayStation, and you get all the game sounds through your headset. But I realized how expensive this headset was, and I kind of would not, I don't know, I think recommending like a $300 headset to people who need help getting Rocksmith Plus setup with PlayStation would be a bad idea. So I actually went to Best Buy and I bought the cheapest wireless PlayStation 5 compatible headset I can find, and that ended up being these Logitech G4 3s. So this headset works very simple. You plug it into your PlayStation with the wireless dongle, it works 2.4 gigahertz to the headset, and you're playing. Minimal latency, very playable. Now, there's going to be a lot of headsets out there that are compatible with PlayStation 4 and 5. You need to make sure that it's not Bluetooth. If you're going to use a wireless headset, make sure it has the wireless USB dongle and it's operating 2.4 gigahertz. Anything Bluetooth is going to ruin your gameplay experience. Bluetooth is not fast enough to give you real-time feedback on an instrument. Now, if you are using the wireless headset, as soon as you plug it in, you can actually control the audio. You press your PlayStation home button, the little thing pops up at the bottom, and you can go to the little speaker, and you can control your volume from that. I think this headset also has volume rocker too to control, so if you ended up buying this one, pretty good, has external audio control. But I think any PlayStation 4 or 5 compatible wireless headset with USB should work the same on Rocksmith Plus and give you a pretty good playable experience. And also, if you have a headset and you're using it and it works, just leave it in the comments, because like I said, I just want a big collection of good information for Rocksmith Plus players to get the best settings on their console. Now, our final option that I'm going to give to you in this video, everybody, is a pretty cheap one, and it works, in my opinion, the best. This is the Sabrent USB audio extractor. It is a USB dongle. You plug it into your PlayStation, and it gives you a headphone jack. From this headphone jack, you can plug in a headset, and this will give you, in my experience, the lowest latency Rocksmith Plus gameplay. I'm gonna have a link for this in the description. I think this thing was about, I live in Canada, 14 Canadian dollars. Pretty cheap, and I know this will also work with PS4. So once you plug this into your system, go into your audio settings. You can control it the same way as the USB wireless dongle for the headset. You can control your audio there. But just like this, make sure you go into your settings and make sure at the bottom you are set to linear PCM audio. Get rid of that Dolby. And in my opinion, this will give you the best gameplay experience on a Rocksmith Plus console. Now, we're kind of going to bring it back to the start of the video where I had mentioned that the first time I tried to play Rocksmith Plus PS5, I was getting horrible audio latency because my TV, right, was HDMI to my soundbar. So what this dongle allowed me to do was actually take a 3.5 aux cable out from the PlayStation and into my soundbar. And that was what gave me my best Rocksmith Plus playable experience in my house. So why would this be lower latency than the first method? The first option had our PlayStation going to our TV, and then the sound was also leaving the TV to the soundbar. With this, we are getting direct sound leaving the PlayStation into the soundbar. So I was able to use my big speakers, low latency, sounded great. It was nice and loud. I had a great time. So this right here will also allow people who have big audio setups at home. Maybe you have an AV receiver with an aux input. You're going to use this dongle. You're going to aux cable out the PlayStation into your receiver, put it on auxiliary in, and you should have a good, loud, clean setup. Now, just keep in mind, everybody, that if you are using your PlayStation and your audio receiver or soundbar on different power outlets, you might need a ground loop isolator. Might not be necessary, but I needed to use it because my soundbar was getting a little bit of hum because my soundbar and my PlayStation were plugged into separate circuits. So I'll put a link for one of those down there as well. Like I said, you might not need it, but it's just a good thing to know about. Right, everybody. So I've been working the last couple days like a mad scientist. We could toss a picture up here of my setup that I had back there, trying to test everything I could find in my house to get the best settings for all of you to play. Now, I hope this video helped a lot of you out. If it did, maybe you'll drop a subscribe to my channel. If you don't know, I am a full-time Rocksmith content creator. I'm mostly playing 2014 on Twitch, but I do occasionally do the Rocksmith Plus videos. And with the launch of console, I do plan to do a lot more Rocksmith Plus related stuff. If you like Rocksmith Plus or 2014, you want more Rocksmith content, a subscription would really help me out so I can keep doing this for all of you. If you made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate that. Hopefully, one of these methods works for you. Maybe let me know in the comments if you tried any of these and it worked, or if you had something different work out for you, let us know. Because like I said, I just want a big knowledge base, so just let me know what's working for you on Rocksmith Plus console. Now, everybody, if you want to hang out with me a little bit more, I'm live on Twitch every single day playing Rocksmith, doing song requests, all that good stuff. We also have a Discord server, discord.gg/Chainbrain. You can come hang out with us, share music. We're a pretty metal-based community, but everything's welcome in my community. So if you want to come to talk Rocksmith, talk to other guitar players who are learning, come hop in the Discord. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope it helped some of you out. And our next Rocksmith Plus video, I believe, is going to be discussing how you can unlock all of the songs using a VPN. It's going to be pretty simple on PC, but I'm trying to find a way how we can VPN on PlayStation 5. And I'm not totally sure yet, but I think we can figure out a way. So I'll be sharing that with all of you once I figure it out. Have yourself an excellent week and happy shredding.